Hello, my name is Nadir Ahmed. I would like to play for you a little videotape of Joe Rogan in which he made some erroneous statements regarding Islam and apostasy, as far as Islam being this intolerant religion which kills apostate, which later he gets refuted and shut down. Let me just go ahead and play it for you here.
There's a fee because no one in modern day, no one ideology is more brutal in their reprisal. I mean, they kill apostates, right? They kill people who leave. If you join, you can join. No one's stopping them. The whole idea of...
So here he's claiming that Islam basically teaches to kill apostates. Listen to Eric Weinstein's rebuttal of that.
Yeah, well, first of all, I mean, let's actually do this one. I think it's important.
Okay.
But they didn't start that. We Jews started this, so far as I know. So if you go
proselytizing?
No. We don't proselytize. But once you're in, you're in.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If you go to Deuteronomy, I think it says something to the effect of if someone.
Okay. So now Joe Rogan is learning, and the good thing here is at least he's going to correct himself on his ignorance. But it's important to point out this really isn't his fault, because there's a tremendous amount of propaganda out there by Fox News, the religious right, Pat Robertson, CBN Club. I mean, you just listen to the radio, talk radio, and you will hear people condemning Islam. So he's obviously been influenced by this negative propaganda, and the refutations to this stuff, obviously they're not going to make available for you. Pat Robertson and Fox News will never tell you that killing apostates actually originated in the Bible. And that's the negative nature of propaganda. It's all one-sided. So he said that was actually in the book of Deuteronomy. Let's take a look at it. He's actually quoting Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse 6. And it basically says over here, if your own brother or your son or daughter or wife, the one you love, basically says, let us worship some other gods, you must certainly put them to death. So let's quickly finish the tape here.
Comes to you and says, hey, let's worship gods not known to the fathers, set upon them with a stone before anyone else gets there.
But are you supposed to do that to someone who is already converted to...
If you're in.
Right, if you're in.
If you're in and somebody says, hey, let's go worship other gods, you're supposed to kill them.
What if that... that's interesting, right?
Okay, so at least this was a good lesson for him not to buy into the hateful anti-Islamic propaganda, because it would be nice if Fox News could have told you, oh, by the way, that's a teaching of the Bible. But his statement is that nobody basically practices this. Is that really true? He says no one's brutal in their repression. Let's see if that's really true. If we go to Russia today, there's a group of people called the Old Believers. These are basically people who do not conform to the ROC, the Russian Orthodox Church. And we can read the statement over here that these actions resulted in the persecution by the ROC, or the Russian Orthodox Church, which forced them into exile across Siberia. These are apostates being persecuted. And so let's go on and let's see if Vladimir Putin has to say about this. Now, here's an article. You have all my references. You can kind of research this yourself if you're interested. It says over here that the Russian state persecute Baptist apostates, Pentecostal apostates, and Adventist apostates, and closes down Orthodox parishes that are not part of the Moscow Patriarch. So the American versions of Christianity, if somebody were to preach this on the streets in Moscow today, they would not be allowed. This is apostasy. The only acceptable version of Christianity is the Russian Orthodox Church. We look in India. Maybe they fare a little better. Well, not really. We see that people who eat meat, who eat beef, are also persecuted because the cow is viewed as sacred inside the Hindu religion. It says over here, every few months, someone is killed by a lynch mob on the suspicion of possession of beef. They actually got a new word for it, which literally translates to cow terrorism. So again, there's multiple levels of of error over here when it comes to this issue about apostasy. Well, what about apostasy from atheism? Let's see how they fare. What about an an atheist who apostates from that no belief system into Christianity? We see in China that Christians, among other religious groups, have faced house arrest, imprisonment, torture, and even death for their refusal to surrender to the government control. Christians, atheists who convert to Christians inside China, I don't think fare any better. So let's go back and let's take a look at the statement again here.
That is like there's a feat because no one in modern day, no one ideology is more brutal in their reprisal. I mean, they kill apostates. Right?
Well, as we've seen today, it's not only in the Islamic world where you see some apostates, and now to say that they kill all apostates, this is again erroneous. This is also another misrepresentation of actually what Islam teaches. But yes, this thing has happened. But we've also seen that this has actually happened in other parts of the world and is continuing to happen on an even larger scale. I want to thank you for watching this tape. My name is Nadir Ahmed.